All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Caracal 816A2. A little more detailed than my other video, just so that you could kind of get an idea why I have it set up the way I have it, and again, why I like it so much. So obviously, rifle's clear. All right, safety's on. Boom. Cool. So again, like I was saying real quick in my other video, I have here a Huxworks 762 Ti. The reason why I went with a 762 for a 5.56 setup is I sacrifice a couple decibels. I understand that in the sound suppression world, a couple decibels is a lot, but sacrifice that and pretty much has the same weight as the 5.56 Ti. So figured if it has the same weight and it could use for 30 cals, might as well get it just in case I want to use it for something else. Um, so up ahead here, I have the SMS laser HFXC. It's green laser, light emitting, and IR emitting. I think it has 1,000 lumens and came with a rechargeable battery. So this is actually a pretty sweet setup. Um, highly recommend if you're looking for a light laser setup to get something like this. It's been holding up well, and yeah, the push button and stuff on the side here actually works really well too. It hasn't failed me. Also, I have some Ranger bands now. I didn't have that on before, but just to help feel where I'm at if I'm not looking. Vertical grip from Magpul. This is an ACOG TAO2. That's the one that's a LED. And this one here is the crosshair model. I went with the crosshair just because it's a little cleaner for me. I like that. And again, up top here is the Add-A-Ball SCD red dot. Went with this. This has a acro footprint. And it's actually been holding up really, really well. Holding 0. It works for my application. And I could have my P2 on my other handgun there. And obviously I changed the charging handle. It's a radiant charging handle. And that's pretty much it. All right, so why specifically the Huxworks for this setup? So like I had mentioned, and you might probably know, Caracal 816A2 is a short stroke piston driven setup. I went with the Huxworks because it's a flow through design, and it helps mitigate that gas as you're shooting it. And obviously with the short stroke piston driven setup too, the gas being emitted in the front and all that good stuff, it actually helps for a better operation. This is definitely one of my, I would say, top 3 suppressors. And if you're looking for weight savings, this is definitely the way to go. Now talking about the gun, short stroke piston driven setup, similar to the HK 416 and the HK MR 556, and also the SIG 516. And I think SIG's coming out with a new one, I'm not sure. But yeah, so this short stroke piston driven setup, if you don't know, has a rod, comes back, uses that to cycle versus shooting gas like gas impingement all the way to the back. Some really cool features that I like about this gun is it has over the breech or whatever that I was talking about before, where if there's obstructions in the barrel, it'll actually be able to shoot right through it and prevent the gun from going catastrophic. Yeah, one of the other features that I really like about this gun is actually the hand guard. So if you look here, maybe I should step closer, but I don't want to. There's some set screws and stuff that hold this down. That ensures that this isn't going to go anywhere. It also clears the bottom, so in case you want to have something here, you can. It also kind of has like a key at the top that also further prevents it from rotating. So the handguard design is definitely something that I really enjoy. Also, overall, as an 11.5-inch setup SBR, everything that I put on this has just worked perfectly. This vertical grip, this hand stop, the grips that I put on the rifle itself, how I could access everything, the weight distribution for me, it's just been a great rifle. So the retail space is definitely very nice. Now, The cons is the fact that it's actually kind of heavy, but that's what you get with the piston setup overall. So I don't mind it, especially when I'm shooting. It actually is super flat. So I really enjoy shooting this, and it's definitely my favorite rifle, one of my favorites. So why did I choose the ACOG piggybacked with the red dot on top? Well, simply put, I didn't want to have a holographic red dot and then put a magnifier and then have the weight be actually more than just having ACOG and a red dot on top. So decided to go with this ACOG, the TAO2, and then put the red dot on top there. Now, obviously, if you could look, the height over bore is pretty wild, right? Obviously, if you're shooting close quarters and stuff like that, this is arcing pretty bad. But I have it zeroed. You know, if I'm going to use a red dot there, it's zeroed up to like 25 or something. And I have my ACOG zeroed at 200. So this is actually a pretty sweet setup. It shoots really flat and it's super accurate. Let's just rip a couple rounds here and you guys could see how it operates. Actually, before that, so this also has an adjustable gas block. Right now I have it on the normal setting because for work I actually have the suppressor off to have some clearance when I have to remove it, okay? The last thing I want to think about is, oh yeah, it's on the suppressed setting and I got to quickly do that when I have to be concentrating on other things. So I leave it on the normal setting. It operates just fine in the normal setting. You know, with the flow through setup, it actually runs a little bit harder, but it's not as bad, right? So that's what the setting's on right now. It's right over here. And let's rip a couple rounds. Okay. So the trigger on this is actually really good. I believe it's like a mil spec plus or something. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but it's actually really smooth. I have it really broken in. And obviously you can tell it just works flawlessly. Yeah, so this gun overall, I think, is a great value if you're in the market for buy once, cry once kind of thing. The short stroke piston setup is awesome. When you buy this thing, it comes with the manual, and within the manual, it has all the parts numbers, the parts diagram, everything that you need. So you can contact Caracal customer service, order the exact part that you want, and they'll be able to help you out. I know that when I reached out to them, you know, they respond actually in a very timely manner. So that's actually really cool to know. If you want to know more about this rifle, you could obviously look online on Google, other reviewers. You know, I'm not going to go super in depth with it because there's plenty of information out there. But if you're looking for a rifle that's really good, definitely recommend this one. Yeah, because the value that you get with this is, in my opinion, unmatched. Well, I only had one left, so damn.